Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 6 minutes to countdown. Get yourself situated. Let's go get your thinking caps up, your tinfoil hat going. Get that lemon water. Get situated, hydrated, and ready to learn, educated. Let's do it, everybody. Let's break it down. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Get the lemon water. Let's get it going. Put the lemon into the water. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, I can't read this news. This news is so horrible. Always so much horrible news. Shout out to all you beautiful people here on the live. Bitcoin getting a nice little pump to the upside. We're going to talk about that. We're going to break it down for you. Already did an update for my trading group this morning. And we're going to show you what we're seeing here in the charts every single day. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Let's get it in. Let's not waste your time. And let's break it down. If I can find the button, the right button to get us there. I know I can get us there. Shout out to each and every one of you. And we're back in the home studio. I got things hooked up again. Said, why not? And you know why? A lifer changed us. And I'm going to give you the story today at 11:05. I'm going to give you guys the story every day at around 11 o'clock, 11:05. I'm going to give you guys a little backstory of what's happening in the crypto lifer world. But something happened that changed the course of my move, and it was because of each and every one of you. We're going to talk about it. I can't wait to share it with each and every one of you. It's going to be amazing. So blessings on blessings to be alive. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. Let's see what's happening above my head here in liquidity zone. So BOOKMAP getting a short squeeze to the upside, 66,800. Beautiful short squeeze. How many times do I show up and we get a squeeze to the upside? We're going to talk about what's happening, what time frames to look at, how we figure out how to get the squeezes in, and what's going on here with BTC. So let me break it down for you. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to the channel sponsors, Decrypted.tax, I Trust Capital. Both have Decrypted.tax is the link, and I Trust Capital. You can hit the QR code or the link below inside the description to find out more about both those beautiful sponsors. We appreciate you, and we care about you on the show. Shout out to, wow, we're getting a nice move for Bitcoin as I step into the scene for BTC. And look at this monster move to the upside. If you were watching my trading group, I talked about this being a bullish divergence. However, I did say that the 4-hour was bearish, did not look good, right? And the 4-hour usually likes to come all the way back down to this 21. It got pretty close to the 21, didn't touch it. Usually it does touch it, but it got pretty close. The thing I was watching was the 200 SMA on the 15-minute. I knew if we did not break that, we would likely get a nice move to the upside. And I would say only if we lose this and hit this level would I short, right? You'd have to see us break. That did not happen. So the shorts who don't know how to play the 200 just get absolutely rocked and wrecked right now and got smashed. So shout out to the shorts for getting smashed. We appreciate your exit liquidity on our beautiful morning walk into the green zone. And there we have it again. Did we just get a candle close? Yeah, we did. A new candle just opened on the 15-minute, and it's looking pretty bullish. You are getting a quick move away from its 21. Remember, whenever you do that, pretty fast spikes away from the 21 do eventually present a move. But this is a beautiful pump to the upside for Bitcoin. And again, I just want to get these weekly closes above 65.5. 67,200 is our next resistance. If we can break 67.2, we're going to be in the money. Let me get that music back up and running here. And yeah. How you all doing today? Thank you for being here. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's have some fun and break it down. So this is why my system consists of using the 200 and the 21 really in tandem and how they go back and forth. And this one is like once you got above the 21, look how much you spiked to the upside. Just a massive move. So very interesting times to be alive. Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Bang, bang, bang. I'll bring that chat on over. There we go. Y'all know you want to be gummy. What did he say? This is by far the best channel on YouTube. Everyone else talks about the BS, never gives you a straight. Sorry to you, man. God bless you, Doc Holiday. Shout out to everybody here. Fantastic. The crypto value is equivalent to the p-value and the alpha. Both mean that you reject the null hypothesis. Null is 52-ish as charted. Funny. I have no idea what he's saying, but you know what? If it works for him, it works for him. It may not work for you. So the 1 hour also decided, hey, I'm going to flip, right? And the 4 hour is going to bend to the 1 hour, which is rare, right? It looked more like the 4 hour wanted to push us down at least to the 21. At least to the 21. And look, we double bottomed off this previous resistance here. It became support at 66, at 65, 659. And it was awesome that we did not break 65.5 so far. There still could be a shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. There's a chance, but so far I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the 1 hour, the 1 minute. The 1 minute broke above the 200. And look at the 1 minute. It made a beautiful ascending triangle. Bang, right? I didn't get a chance to see that. I was setting up the show for the last 15 minutes, but what a nice move to the upside here on the 1 minute time frame, right? That's a beautiful, that's something I would trade time and time again. And again, once you got above the 200 on the 1 minute time frame, this is what we teach and we talk about. You try your flags. If the flag breaks above the 200, I mean, that's exactly what we did when we got into the 7 minute trade all the way back here. Remember, on the 1 hour and the 7 minute, that's still in the money from Friday night, if you remember correct. Like if I go back, it was like the night of the halving or before the halving. Right here, we were looking at the 7 minute. Where was it here? Yeah, right here, when the 7 minute broke above this 200 SMA. Let me show you the 1 hour. I'm gonna have to look at the, I want to see the 1 hour and then zoom back into the 7. 52K. Yeah, right here. So basically what happened was the 1 hour and the 7 both broke their 200s together, which was kind of a really cool signal. So you got like this dual, you know, and then you even got this kind of shoulder, head, and right shoulder there inside of the flag, right? But ever since then, that's been a beautiful move. And I even talked about how much the 1 hour barely ever breaks the 200. Like here it had a little move. Okay, 1, 2 good pumps there. 3, a massive pump, and 4, a massive pump. And so 1, 2, right? Really solid. Wherever you had like really tight moving averages. Here it kind of pumped, but it was low, right? It had come down and had to retrace, down and retrace. Here it's coming back into tight moving averages. Just very interesting how amazing just buying above the 200 on the 1 hour can be. You see? I don't know. I go over this all the time. It seems obvious. It's just something you have to demo trade. You have to get used to over and over again. This was a bit of a rising wedge that broke to the downside, right? So now I watch the 1 minute because the 1 minute's been interesting today. And Tuesday, a great day to trade, specifically for liquidity and movement. You know, usually the pattern will do what it's supposed to do. You get what you're supposed to get. Tuesday, or is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? My life is so out of control. No, it is Tuesday. Yeah. The 23rd. So if you know my story, I grew up in Boston, moved to New York for 20 years. All right. Moved back to Boston 4 years ago, and I'm moving to Florida in just a few days, so just an interesting time to be alive. Previous resistance becomes support here on the 1 minute time frame if we can get this flag to kind of hang out. Moving averages are getting a little far apart, something I would pay attention to here. All right. And you don't know exactly how the flag's going to be. This is how I project, and you could say you might get a bigger move as this too. That could get you up to 67.4, and we'd kind of come and retest this previous level at 67,200. A break above 67.2 would be amazing for Bitcoin, right? And pressure, people are buying, man. So I'd be looking for, a bullish move if we don't break above this, below this previous support as resistance. It looks okay. I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Excellent. Sorry, leaning in too deep there. Taco Tuesday, man. I lived in Lakeland, Florida. Amazing. 20 turd. Skid is banging on him to the upside. We talked about it too. This Skid wrapped on ETH. This is Skid for wrapped ETH though. On base. This is Skid on base. Up 350% gains. And it bounced off the 786 and double bottom. Right? So like pumped, came back to a perfect area to get a 3x on. 333 is funny, right? Right on the line, it's about 333, which is pretty interesting. All right. And what I show you, I just want to show you can trade 4x or anything you want in the world with these strategies that I teach you guys and ladies and gents, guys and girls. Wow, euro beating up on the US dollar, right? Like somebody said, look, it got above its 200 on the 15, did a, kind of a nice move. Look at the 1 hour. Like, did it get above its 2 hour, and it did, very similar to Bitcoin. So, Euro USD tends to move with Bitcoin technically because it pumps when the dollar dumps, right? And so does Bitcoin. They don't have to go exactly together, but they, so whenever you get a nice pump for Bitcoin and then you had a gap in the VRVP, you got above, isn't it, it all makes sense. So I use the VRVP in tandem with the moving averages. When you get above a moving average, look for a big move to the upside. You just got to trust it over and over again. It becomes your friend. That's what it's about. That's what trading is. It's about trusting the same thing over and over again until it becomes your friend. You know. I was just going to super chat Euro USD. Isn't that amazing? I'm right on with you, man. And so look, then we go to this theory. If these can get tight, we can pump up to the 200. There is some resistance here, though, that you're going to have to struggle with probably at about 107.334. If you're a Forex guy, right? And I'd look at it on a bigger time frame, like the weekly, if I really want to like hone in on it. Still somewhat bearish because it can't break back above its weekly 200 SMA. It's got to get back above this area to remain bullish, you see? It's going to be a bit of an issue. So, like, this is like what we struggle with here and here. Can we get back to 1.27 is the question. You know what I mean? Shout out to the beautiful people here. Thank you for jumping on in. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Thank you so much. Your thoughts on Doji is identical to ORDI, but for Doge. ETH and Render are alive. Everything is pumping at this moment. I'm now a trader since I joined. When I joined the group, I knew nothing. Since being a member of the Lifer 99, I could read charts, make money, and have an education in the group and enjoy Sam's live shows. Shout out to my man Ivan 10 Broke. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for being here, man. A cash network booming to the upside, AKT. Yeah. Sam, you ever visited Europe? Yes, I have. It's been a long time. I went to Barcelona. I skied the Alps in Cortina, Italy. I went to Venice, Italy. But only twice in my life. For a couple weeks, I've been to Europe. And it's been a long time. A really long time. Yeah. So. Shout out to the 1,271 beautiful souls here. 316 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watches. Let's go, baby. So here's the deal. On the weekly, you have a resistance. If you ever see the weekly get above this 200, I mean, that means the dollar is definitely in some trouble, too. The weekly is low and suggesting that it can happen. I'd watch this to consolidate and see if it can break its back, its move back up. But it still is in somewhat of a downtrend until it can break this high, right? Euro USD. That brings me to ES1. Might as well take a look at the S&P futures. So looking at the S&P, right? We desperately needed a bounce in the S&P here. And I said, can we bounce off the 618 golden pocket? Let's take a look at what I was looking at here for ES1, probably on the daily time frame. And so I had drawn this this Fibonacci from this impulse, right? And what it did is it gave me a 786, which we bounced Look, I mean, we bounced perfectly off that 786 Fibonacci. I took it from here to here. We could do it again, if you want, but like from this impulse all the way up, and that's the 786 exactly. Right, and said if we can't break back above this, we're going to come down to the bottom of the channel. But look, we broke out, and now you're looking for the S&P future to get back above that 200. They passed the bill, right? And once they pass the bill, don't they have to print money? And so once they pass that bill, in my humble opinion, it's almost like they know they passed that bill, they're going to pump the stock market, and their money's in the stock market. It's almost like that bill was passed to pump the stock market. Don't you get it? Am I the only one like putting, you know what I mean? So if they pass a bill which they're going to have to print a bunch of money for, it's obvious. Like we're in $34 trillion debt, right? Where do you get $91 billion, right? It just comes out of thin air, right? No, they printed and we owe money. We owe a VIG on that, right? It's just crazy. And so we play right into the hands of the private entities that own the, anyway. But the key is, to utilize the situation to your advantage, all right? Instead of, we can complain about things all we want, and we could change it from the inside. It's going to take some time, but you got to take things, and so what I'm telling you is, if they're going to continue to print money, there's just no way a scarce asset's not going to do better than an asset that you continue to, send all over to the populace, right? And we go over this all the time, talk about the fiat currency graveyard and show you all these currencies from, 5 million, 10 million pesos, the $1 billion mark, $1 trillion bill here. Like, so It happens all the time. It's been happening for years. Don't act like it's new to you. Just be like, oh, they just haven't shown you because they don't want you, you don't want to be thinking about it, right? Just keep you in the dark. This channel brings you to the light, right? No matter what. And that's what it's about. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend, tell somebody else, say, hey, I got educated today. And I believe this is a place where you can get an education, get motivated, stay focused and disciplined, and achieve what you want to do out of your life, right? So, beautiful short squeeze for Bitcoin. Little bit of a pullback here as the flag is, making somewhat of a flag. We are losing the 21. It could drop, but it's a cool little flag here. Take a look at your 7-minute, your 15. Both, 7-minute very overbought, right? And away from the 21. It's pretty nice short squeeze. This probably will have to come back down to the 21. Whenever you get these large gaps, it's just how it is, right? So I would watch, there's a chance the 1 minute can continue. That's why I've watched the 1 minute. This is the duality of trading. Every once in a while, I've seen the 1 minute just be able to, do some damage. But when I see that the bigger time frames are against me, sometimes I just won't trade it. You get what I mean? Because it's all about if you decide the risk that you're taking. Now, if the other time frames, like the 1 hour looks interesting, right? Let me take a look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour says, hey, this could continue all day. We're just getting started and we're getting a nice squeeze. And we could come for these highs right here. So the 1 hour is in our favor, in my humble opinion, which will give me a little faith to trade the 1 minute. You see? But if the 1 hour is more dumpy, it would make me, less likely to trade the 1 minute time frame. You see what I mean? It depends. And that's what I've locked in multiple time frames to kind of see the bigger picture when it comes to Bitcoin. The target here would be about 67,294 for BTC. All right. So huge move for Bitcoin, huge candle on the 4 hour time frame. That's a bullish engulfing candle too as well on the 4 hour. Absolutely beautiful, right? And here's the deal. If we break above the 200 on the 4 hour, to me, that's going to be a beautiful long because that's likely going to produce a beautiful move to the upside. And it's showing signs that it may. It really may. So I like what we're seeing here today. The 4 hour has flipped. The 1 hour has got bullish tones. It's very interesting. We could see a massive move further up to the upside. I know everyone wants to see Gummy, their favorite big coin right now, Gummy. So I'll show you Gummy, which had pumped really nicely to $174 million market cap, right? Since we first looked at it, when I knew it came out in one of these little flags, I think this flag right here, Gummy is up about 300% since we first talked about it. And, you could have gotten it on Banter. It's a Banter coin, they released it exclusively with Blowfin. Link to Blowfin in the description. So if you want to jump into Blowfin, and it's an amazing new exchange that they did exclusively lose Gummy, and they're going to be putting out more spot pairs every single week. So look out for that on Blowfin. All right. I mean, if it consolidates like such, this ain't bad. This could continue to the upside on another measured move further to the upside. Send it all the way to 31 cents. So Gummy's been hot. If you got airdropped your Gummy, you got into Gummy. Look at the 77. If you airdropped your Gummy, you got your Gummy, are you selling or are you holding your Gummy? I got to know. What are you doing with your gummies? Right? And shout out to everybody here. Thank you for all the beautiful souls here on the live. I just signed up to Blowfin. Seems pretty cool. Thank you so much, GF Burke. Lambo coming. Lifer, can you show FCON, please? It had kind of a bump. Came back pretty hard yesterday. Coinbase finally unlocked BEP20 USDC that people have accidentally sent over the years. Just got 1,700 surprise airdrop from Coinbase. Really? That's amazing. Are you kidding me? Wow, that's amazing. So people messed up, made mistakes, and they finally did it, unlocked it, and you got your 7. That's pretty cool, man. Good morning, Sam. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Would you mind taking a quick look at Arrow? Ooh. Jump on the Blowfin. This guy's funny. Can you have a look at Toshi? Hold my Gummy until it passes whiff. Strong community. It was a good launch. 30% airdrop to the community. What a great way to get it out to the, you know what I mean? So nobody's complaining, right, about their free Gummy. So Toshi had a nice little pump, came back down though. And again, looking kind of interesting for, market structure is a bit messy here, if you ask me. a funny market structure over here, right? You could say it left this channel, came back inside, pull somewhat of a fib on the bigger idea, but it's a weird, that's definitely strange. Kind of more of a shoulder, head, right shoulder. Could it, collapse? But at previous support was resistance. It's really respecting, right? Resistance, bounce. You just kind of want, honestly, it's hard to tell. This one's a little iffy. Like, that's some strange price action. I guess I could dissect it as this was a falling wedge that broke out. So you broke out of this little wedge, came back, fell below the low. And so you do have a resistance here. Kind of hit this key level. You have a resistance right here, like 005495. It's on at the end of the day, it's in an uptrend though, right? As long as it holds this trend, you're good to go. That's how I look at it, right? Bitcoin banging out the flag to the upside on the 1 minute, doing damage. 21 low stochastics, and that flag plays out. Can we hit the target all the way up at 67,300 to the upside? Bang, bang, bang. And look at this thing going. And I could teach you how to trade, man. I could teach you how to trade, right? And the reason what gives you confidence in this trade was that 1 hour just exploding, showing you signs of life here. I mean, look at this 1 hour when we take away everything. Beautiful move. Eating up the shorts to the upside. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Going over this too. Me and Master Friend talking about this last night together. Going over the ideas and talking about liquidity zones and areas that just make sense. Right. Starting to get a bit of a, kind of a bearish div here. Not perfect, but, just kind of preemptively seeing a bit of bearish div possibly there. That could, slow us down a bit. But, man, what a beautiful moving morning pump to the upside. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see that awesome short squeeze. And this is why we come for the short squeeze every single day here on the channel. Bang, 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 all the way up. Now, we have liquidity building to 68,000. Big red is coming in. And wherever red is, there's a big red right there at 67,980. Hey, it says we can continue up at this ladder of liquidity to the upside. And look, now there's, remember those big orders that were lower? Interesting, they're just gone. No one's at 58 anymore. Pretty interesting. All the way up at 68,000 for Bitcoin. They're going for the shorts, man. And there's so much short liquidity to be had. All the way up to 70. There's people that have been shorting all the way since 70, 71. So that's why I take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Bang, bang, bang. And again, the easy entry, or not the easy entry, but the simple entry today was just getting in when we got above the 200 on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute time frame. Right there. Bang. And just letting it play out. Ride that puppy to the upside. All the way up, baby. Let it go. Like Frozen. Let it go. Look at that. My daughter, that's what they did at their play last week. So funny. They did an amazing job, though, those kids. So we can see it all the way go up to 67,308 is the measured move. Where do I get the measured move? Just this pull here from the last move to the upside. Bang. That thing launched exactly like it was supposed to. Previous resistance became support. SR flipping on the key level and getting a move to the upside here for BTC. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Is anybody in gains from just watching the update this morning? Anyone, I'm not saying I didn't give an exact dedicated trade. I just went over exactly what I was seeing in the charts. How do you tell when to short and long positions are placed? I usually buy and hold trading. Sam, you're number one. Give us hope and inspiration. Thank you for the effort. What about Bell, please? Send in a TA for super chat, man. I can't just go do random. I just can't. We got a bunch of stuff to look at here. Yesterday, I forgot to ask my super chat a coin, but can you take a look at BONK? Thanks for all the great opportunities you give us to make. Shout out to my man. Thank you for you getting your education, man. We got the midnight dump, bro. OMNI hit the 786. It bounced. God bless you, sir. Thank you for all you do. Can we check EMRLD? Cash, small time frames could bang if Bitcoin squeezes. Sean, we love that. Thank you for coming on in. Shout out to Joker NYC, Michael Powell, Master Friend, Hank Schulten, and all you awesome people here on the live. We appreciate you, and we love you for being a part of the live stream. Okay, moving forward, making sure everything's right here on time. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. Let's get to 2,000 people here on the live. You know we can do it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Woo. All right. And see, there's that little bit of bearish div there that I'm talking about, right? You just got to be wary when you start seeing that bearish divergence with the overbought stochastics RSI, right? We're on the 1 minute. Remember, we're on small time frames now, all right? And I use different charts for different things, you know? S&P getting the pump to the upside as well. Look at this. Everything's starting to move. Money printer go brrr, right? So we know the circumstance we're in, and the charts are starting to tell the story. They're going to start printing this money to the upside. We're on fire, baby. Let's start dancing. Let's get it going. Shout out to everybody here on the live if you're making gains. I want to jump into the chat right now and see what's happening. I know you people are out of your minds today. I know you're feeling it and loving it. God bless each and every one of you. Let's take a look here what's happening with the live chat. Bang. S&P hitting that bottom is crazy good. Let's go. Brrr, right? Bang, bang, bang. Okay, could you look at Redo, please? Only dummies sell gummy. I like this guy. Best mentor in the game. Make it gain, Sammy. Thank you for the help. Shout out to Joel Machine. Put a 333 if you're in a long. Banging on them to the upside on Bitcoin. I got in a trade this morning before you got on, but I remember the 200 SMA, low Stokes, and RSI under 30, baby. Joey Malazowski. We love you, Joey. ETH is pumping. Earnings today pushed us up, baby. Akash destroyed everything last night. We all go into Turks and Caicos, baby. 333. Bro, I'm in a short right now. Oh my, did you open the short immediately? My mentor is better than yours. Lifer Gang. Shout out to Twiz, man. We love you, man. We grind a baby day. Rave Song Records in the house. David in the house. All the beautiful souls here. Man, awesome people. Remember, where there's only a 200 on a live stream. I remember that too. Full Moon. Thank you for saying that. I remember when there was only 3 people on a live. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get those likes up to 1,000 likes every single day, man. Let's go, baby. All right. So one thing I want to look at now is Bitcoin just on the USD Coinbase chart. And interesting, if you look at like the 1 hour, right? Kind of cup and handled, double bottom in a way, but still not amazing. But look, we even had this complex inverted support and resistance. So funny how there's like so many different ways to look at it too. But again, that cross above is just amazing. So like, can you make some, like this is, you know what I mean? This is it's a far fetch at this point because I only have like 1 point to touch, but could it turn into something, you know, kind of has a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder vibe to me. This head, we have to break this high to remain bullish. Like we got to break through that, right? So we're still not out the water yet. As fun as the pumps feel and as good everything is, like you don't want to get too euphoric here. We want to take it one step at a time. One moment at a time. Like that, I would be taking some profits. The 1 hour looks really nice to me, though, suggesting that we can't continue to the upside. But look, I mean, this flag would have to pump out again. You look for hidden bullish, though. If it's hidden bullish, it might play out. Like if that swings up while that swings down. I don't know. I've backtested it on the 1 minute. It's not. It could be strong, but it can also be negated so fast in the 1 minute due to how fast the 1 minute is, right? I'm on live for 99 today. I made $500 a week. It was a big decision to join the team, and I choose you in spite of knowing you're in a family move this month. Love 99. Thank you, man. It's fine. I'm not in the, it's only going to take, I'm going to be here every single day. Like, this is what I do. I got my wallet, phone, and keys, my gains. Woo, woo. Thank you, Sammy. Shout out to Richard Shelton in the house. We love you. We appreciate you. So, look, there was a bearish divergence, too. We talked about it before it started to dip. I went over the idea that I started seeing some bearish dip. And this will teach you. And look, the 21's away from the 200. And usually you'll reset in some type of way, shape, or form here. Now you can say, sorry, you can also say here, well, we're in this type of, we got some supportive resistance hanging out, right? And so you have this beautiful supportive resistance right here for Bitcoin. but like it looks like it might make a right shoulder. You see like shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like this doesn't, like, I'm not in love with this pattern right now, right? Still in a bit of a falling wedge. Could you break back up to the upside? It's a bit of a, it's far-fetched, but you are oversold. You made what's called an exaggerated bullish div. Like this swung down, but price action stayed flat. We call that exaggerated bullish divergence. All right? Exaggerated bullish div. All right? You may be like, what? What is he saying? Hold on, let me see. I want to do this off screen for a second, just in case. I just want to show you something real fast, if I can. I want it to be a faster version of this. Here we go. It's just this, you know, you have regular, hidden, and exaggerated divergences. See, price is flat, moving up, exaggerated bullish div, right? I see it both ways too, though. This one is like more exaggerated, hidden bullish div in a way. It's like a hidden form, but to me, because look, you're 7-minute, very overbought, and now look, I mean, you're giving back what you just got to a bearish engulfing candle. You're too far away from the 21, and so you got to come back down. To me, you're going to come back down very fast too. So very likely now you're coming back down to these moving averages. This is how it works. You go too far away, so what you want to do is go up, come close, pump. But you want the smaller time frames to kind of make solid consolidation patterns and move in tandem. The second they get too far away for the moving averages, you have problems. Things start to kind of struggle, and you got to get back to brass tacks, right? So you'll come back down to this 200, right? At this point, you'll also be drawing a Fibonacci to see what the key levels are. 786, 618, right? We call these local fibs, mini fibs. You have fibs on small time frames, fibs on big time frames. It's the ratio of where the fibs are, how you're using the fibs. All right. My name's Sam Price. I started trading like when I was 24 years old, looking at charts, just playing around, right? Mainly just buying and selling things. Then I got into some long-term stuff. I started trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange, a bunch of different mining companies. Then I got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and the rest is history. But yeah, I've been trading now since I was 24 years old, and I just been watching the markets for a long time. I do this show every single day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And I haven't taken a day off since February of 2021. So we look at the market every single day. We break it down for you. And if this is something that you want to see every day, we do this every single day. So welcome if you're new to the channel. We appreciate it, and we really care, and we want to see you get educated. So keep showing up every single day. I'm going to teach you about moving averages, the VRVP, Fibonacci, stochastics RSI, MACD, moving volume and price action, juxtaposition of different, indicators, MACD, how the moving averages work, right? What the 200 means, and so much more. So if you want to get educated, if you're excited, hit the like button right now. Hit the 111 right now. Put 111 in the comments. If learning is your thing, like you love to learn and you're addicted to learning, you can't stop learning. Every day you go out to learn something new. Hit 111 in the comments right now. I want to see how many people are hitting 111. Let me know. And shout out to everybody here. Blessings to each and every one of your families. Hope you and yours are having a good day. Hope everything's going well with you. And hope you're getting everything that you need today. Look at all the beautiful 111s, man. We love you. We appreciate that. That's awesome. I love that in the chat, man. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Pablo Estevan. Shout out to Thunlid. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Lax. Shout out to Chorus Global. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to James Barbarato. Shout out to Aries. Shout out to Jeffrey Stonever. Shout out to all the awesome people here on the live. We love you, man. This is awesome. Love is the strongest frequency. When you live in love, you cannot be denied. And so it's every single day, constantly. It is what it is. So, all right. So here we are with Bitcoin, right? And now you can say, okay, now maybe the 1 minute wants to make a stand here. You see? Maybe, and then you got low stochastics again. Maybe you want to make a bit of a stand. But you have to remember, now you have a low, you have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, you have a lower low. Usually you would expect the lower high at that point. So just things to think about, to keep in the back of your head. that, now we still have liquidity above us too, though, for Bitcoin at 67,600. So it says, hey, we got more liquidity above us than below us. The shorts still don't understand the game yet. And and that brings us all the way up to my next target here, 67,893. So here it is again too. Can the 4-hour break, look, it's getting rejected again by the 200. So we need the 4-hour to close a candle above the 200. This is so key. If we do that, it's going to change the story for the rest of the day. We're going to get a huge move. If we can't do that, it's going to cause a pretty big issue. All right? It's going to be more of like a resistance area. So this is key. We have about 1 hour and 11 minutes. Look, 111. I just said that. Isn't that weird? 111. But we have 1 hour and 11 minutes to get above. And I didn't even notice that. That's maybe subconsciously I picked up from it somewhere, right? That's how things work. I think you see the number without knowing you see the number. But that says, can we get, you really want to see the 4-hour break back above it. It has this shoulder, head. It's kind of this complex inverted head and shoulder. It really tells me that it can break to the upside. All right. I said one time, one day, one life. That's funny. Somebody says HBAR is booming to the upside. Let's take a look at HBAR. HBAR over here. Hedera hash graphy. Hedera harashograph. No, but the 4-hour looks low. Look at the low stochastics in the 4-hour, right? Lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. It's showing signs of a move. It went through this gap in the VRVP, and now it's into the next gap. It's coming for that 200. Again, the whole market recovers when we get back above these 200 SMAs and things start to move. This has what I call like an ascending cup and handle, right? Like it has a higher right side than left side. We call these ascending cup and handles. They play out very similar to a cup and handle over time, right? But they just take more, it might take a few days, but that does tell you the target could take you at least to this big area. And then, you're dealing with this chop. You're dealing with the point of control on the VRVP. And so it says, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we did get to 10.7 and then possibly, and when we break the 200, this thing could really start to move. So, and is the HBAR on a bigger trend? Yeah, HBAR is still doing okay after that pullback. But again, a lot of coins took that beat down, got into some type of zone. But still, if you got in early on anything here from HBAR down the line, you're still in pretty good hands, Yeah, so everything's getting a bit of a bounce today. But again, remember, we're all bouncing up with Bitcoin. But look at that. You're breaching the trend line. FLOKI. I personally bought FLOKI on the dip. I didn't have any, so I started buying it here, and there. So I'm in FLOKI now. We'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? I think all the coins that I kind of wish I had, I started buying. All right? And I keep telling everybody in my trading group, like, just, pull out the fib, look at what you want, and you got to be able to get into these 618 Fibonacci levels. That's the key level. Like, for me personally, that's like the education that you want. You want to be buying into Fibonacci golden pocket. Look at the golden pocket on FLOKI, banging, right? Let's take a look at a coin that I keep talking about, Brickin', which I don't even own. You know what I mean? I bought GFI and other, but they all looked exactly the same. They were basically doing the same thing. It was like BRK. Hold on, I gotta remember the ticker. But so RWA to me is an interesting play, and this is a very small cap gem. Brickin', right? Remember it having 2Ks. There we go. BKN, like Brooklyn, that's what got me going. $18 million market cap, very low volume. That's the only thing. To me, yeah. Yeah, low volume on XE. But, if this thing can play out, I'd buy it on a DEX personally. It's on Base and Binance and Ethereum, right? But the thing is, super low cap gem. This could get, but it could 100x. See, that's the thing. It could 100x. So, I don't know. But to me, it's very high risk. Very high risk. Very high risk. So, I like Rio a little more, So look, we're getting a bounce here on the flat because the low stochastics wanted to get you up. But again, you have to get back above this now, right? You have this high. So you want to break back above 66, we'll call it 67K, but 66,950 for Bitcoin. Now the 15-minute getting above the 200 is also a good look, right? So, and that's why you need, like, I always look at Bitcoin on like 2 different charts. And even once I do this, like, I sometimes, like, I have to delete everything again and look at it fresh and be like, what are we doing? You know, what happened just now? Like, where did the day go? And I just reassess the situation. Okay. And look, I mean, that was a red candle that you know, has completely changed. And if that closes the day like that, right? And I showed you on the 8-hour, the bullish pin bar that we went over this as a team, but that was very, right when it happened, I said, that's very bullish. And we went over all the bullish pin bars that we've seen previously on the 8-hour time frame. And so far that has reversed price action, and we never got back below the 200 after that pin bar. And so I went over the 8-hour for weeks, right? Well, not weeks, but, you know, I guess since the 16th, about a whole week, right? And I said, when we get here, now I got pretty bearish here. I said, that's no good. I said that we're likely going to continue to the downside if we can't get a move out of like some type of bullish div. We have a little bit of bullish div there though that did save the day. We got back above this 200. And then this crazy wick down was the Thursday night on my weekly screen share. We were able to call the bottom. It was absolutely insane. I can't say I called the exact bottom, but we were able to identify that was a bottom. And I even said, this could be the bottom, you know, this could be the bottom for the week. This could be the bottom until the end of the bull run. You never know. Like, that could have been it, that wick right there. It's just amazing to participate in the market so much that you see so many different nuances in the market. It's a special time to be alive after a halving. It really is. You know, all of us are privileged to be here and to be part of a new asset class as it's emerging into the future. Like, this is when people get extremely wealthy. If they can be, and this happens like once a generation. We are so blessed and so lucky to be at the situation we're at right now. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. All right. Let's break 67.2 resistance. Mr. Lavery, can you please give us your opinion on K-BONK? BONK up 50%, pumping. BONK is doing damage. And look at Bitcoin going back up for the shorts here, out of the flag to the upside. Now you just got to break this resistance. You break this resistance, you're coming for that high. Again, some crazy market structure. You gotta have to, like, it was hard to stick with. That was not easy, you know. Bounced off the 80, which is a bit odd, right? People are sweating Catmodo hard right now. You guys love your Catmodo. What's up with Catmodo? Why does everybody want Catmodo so bad? What's happening with Catmodo? Shout out to Fun and Games and everybody here. Gummy looking good. Not sure if you could chart it. We already looked at Gummy earlier today and talked about it. It was one of the first things we went over because I know that's what you want. So you can go back early in the show and look at Gummy, or at the end of the show, everything will be time-stamped and you can pick out Gummy for yourself and see what's up with Gummy. All right. Let's roll that ball up. The VRVP. Amen, man. Like, now, look, we're bouncing off the VRVP. It's almost like we need the 5-second chart here. We're going to collapse here. The 5-second will send us down or stay inside the flag. See, the smaller the time frame, so you don't have to be right on the 5-second. The 5-second can just tell you something, and then you can zoom back out. Smaller time frames give you answers quicker because they have to, because they're so small. You get it? That's why you use the 1 minute. That's why I use all the time frames that we do use, because it's forcing time to give you an answer. Say, hey, well, you're so small. If you're in a flag, if you're bullish, you'll break out this flag. If you're bearish, you'll break to the downside, And there you go, the 5-second chart. Start to get busy to 67,130 if it wants to move. My wife listens to you're live. Now she calls me Dave Ravy Cup and Garvey. Davey Ravy Cup and Garvey. Hope this isn't copyright infringement. It's so funny, man. Shout out to Rave Sound Records in the house. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the live stream. We love you and we appreciate you, man. Thank you. That's so nice. Shout out to everyone that gave a super chat here and fan funded the live stream. Super nice of y'all. We appreciate it more than you would ever know. All right. Look at that flag booming to the upside on the 5-second chart, getting busy exactly as we looked at it would, right? And how do you know what time frame to use? It just, you get a knack for it over time, all right? It's kind of making that same kind of bearish div we saw before on the 1 minute, right? You see? But I wouldn't trade the 5-second, and I very rarely do. It's heavily volatile, as you can see, you know? Like, that's the move right there. Really, if you were trading the 5-second, like, that's the move. The smaller the time frame, the quicker the move. In my, like, you know, you go for just the base, this little mini flag if you can get it. And I'll get out of here. You can get caught up on the 5-second. You can, and you don't want to do that too much. At the end of the day, you want to kind of see what your bigger time frames are doing, and not forget about your key areas of support or resistance, right? You can get caught up in that tiny time frame and get lost in the sauce, not know where you are in life. You know what I mean? Because it's so small, you have no idea where you are. It's just too much. So bounce, a bit of a kind of a double bottom here too for Bitcoin. But again, it still could be the shoulder, head, and right shoulder. If this thing doesn't break up, we want to see this. We got to really get above resistance, in my humble opinion. 67.2 is the next weekly support or resistance that I've talked about, and I really want to get above that zone. Really do. Talk about Rio, R-I-O. Rilio. I mean, it's coming down to the golden pocket, right? You could say it kind of broke out, or it's still even inside, and it may come all the way back down to the 786, right? I've been accumulating this coin for the longer haul. I still remember when I was, starting to grab it here, and it made a big move. So it's been good to me. It's a great project, in my humble opinion. It gets a lot of buzz. Other people accumulate it too as well. So it's got some staying power in the game. And of course, this is I personally own this in my portfolio, so I'll disclose that. I see, but again, I'm just going over because I see people talking about it in the chat. But yeah, if it can come down to the 786, even better. 886, even sweeter. That's when it's very, very, very undervalued. So I like Rio at 169. I liked it better to 59 and 64, right? He got it at 10 cents on Rio. This guy's up 16x, almost 17. What do you think when structs are below 20 and selling when they're above 80? Seems quite accurate for predicting trends on the weekly time frame. Much love. That's what I've been doing for a long time using the 2-week chart, man. Using the 2-week chart. So, yeah. So there you have it. Like, Bitcoin is overbought on the 15. Had a really nice run this morning. I mean, that's a beautiful pump all morning, right? Into the short squeeze area. If this is what we're going to do and consolidate, we're going to have to come back down to the bottom of the pattern, right? So if we're going to make some kind of cool pattern, like I'm somewhat suggesting, and so we have two scenarios here. We have the shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Or we could come back down here too. The 15's too far away from its 21-day moving average. The same thing. So you're likely going to get a pullback now to the 21. That's okay. It could make a cup and handle. You want to see what it does. You want to see price action begin to consolidate. That's all you want. A nice Tuesday pump. I mean, things have been going since the last night little dip, and then since 5, 6 in the morning, we had this idea that we might get the short squeeze, and that's what it was. You got a beautiful short squeeze. I'm not saying it's over for sure. I don't want you to be like, oh, but it looks more likely we're going to pull back to the 21-day moving average now before we could continue to the upside. All right. Filecoin looking ready to go. Seems to be lagging and consolidating. Yeah, good morning to you. Thank you. Live from Tokyo. Where's everybody from in the chat? We have so many people here. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate your love and your awesome viewership. It's amazing. Love, see you. FLOKI is just a meme coin. Yes, it is, but it's one of the hottest games. They have a great team. And, TokenFi is the same team as FLOKI. So they like to make things. We have New York City, Tulsa, Uruguay, Germany, Chicago, unbelievable. Australia, Netherlands, South Florida, amazing. Florida, Boca Raton, Brazil. So many amazing Floridians love their crypto, man. Floridians love your crypto, bro. Blessings from Ireland, Germany, Georgia, Japan, Ukraine, Ibiza, Washington State, Morocco, Malady, Germany. People from all around the world here. Detroit, the Netherlands, San Francisco, Romaine, Berlin. Let's get those likes up to the watches. Let's go, baby. Get me motivated. Get me going. Funny, even motivation is fleeting. You just have to have focus and discipline. Motivation will come and go. You'll get it. Some days you won't have it. Some days you will. You just got to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And somehow, some way, you'll be able to keep yourself going on another level. So eventually, this 8 hour is going to come on down. We can't lose the 200 when that happens. We'd like a bit of a move up here that could kind of push us further up to get that move, right? That's something that I'm looking at that could definitely happen. But you never know. Only time will tell. We got people from Biafra, Pocahontas, Iowa. Wow, I didn't even know that place existed. Nigeria, Norway, Israel, Albany, Australia, Mexico, Texas. Wow. So BONK is the one today just getting major moves to the upside. B-O-N, BONK, baby, BONK. Left the buy zone. I had the 786. You see that? Ripped down to the 886. Even the lower area. It's a little overbought on the daily now, right? So I would have accumulated there. I'd be back into break even right now for BONK. But even if it went lower, look, it bounced off the 200 MA moving average. All right. So let's take a look. And again, I mean, I guess you could have taken it from actual impulse too, and then you would hit the 786 Fibonacci too. Let me just see that. There you actually came to like the perfect zone. Didn't even hit the 786, like got into a good retracement. But I like these pumps, but I'm weary of them recently. You know what I mean? They're good. But I want to make sure we get above some key levels. I want to make sure Bitcoin gets back above 67.2. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Tori from Iowa. God bless you, Tori. Thank you. He wants people to know Iowa is the bomb. Diggity dot. Sam, Tampa here. I want to apply for your personal security detail. I appreciate that. You could email my wife at Crypto Lifers and give us your credentials. Take a look at Pepe. It's pumping hard. I've seen Pepe also was up, one of the bigger coins up today. And you think, is WIF going to follow? Are memes just kind of taking over again? I mean, when people get bored, memes come back. You know, memes are the first thing because people just, they don't care. You know, they don't have to research. They can just, hey, I'll just hop a meme, right? So, I mean, it's up 80%. BONK booming to the upside in the last 2 days, just doing damage. And it did break resistance. As long as BONK stays out of the zone, I don't see why it won't continue to the target at 44, 39, 44.97. Say 44.50 if you'd like to keep it even there. Let's take a look at EMRLD, which I think someone asked about it yesterday too as well. So this thing got beat to the ground. Look at that. Just sold off. I personally don't own any EMRLD. I want to make it clear. But this thing is just getting a lot of buzz. People sweating it. But MEXC, it's getting hammered, right? Look at that thing. Like no love. Let's take a look at its market cap. Yeah, just like 3 million. I mean, it's just almost too small. For me, I need to wait for it almost like, I need to wait for it to get back above some key levels. I like it as a play, and I've been seeing people talk about it as like, super low cap gem. It may take it may take 8 or 9 months for people to understand what this coin is. Like, just super early, 3.66 million market cap. So for me, it's almost too much of a risk. It's almost too much of a risk, but I like it. Like, it came across my radar, and I think it's worth, if I see it get to 10 million, I'll miss that 3x because I don't know. I like coins with way more volume, personally, right? So we'll see. See what the 1 minute's doing. It's attempting to kind of hang out and make a bit of a, symmetrical triangle here. And if it can stay there, it gets busy to the upside. It could go either way. The base of the triangle to the downside too. Kind of a shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Like, for me, we got to break back above the 67,100 level. Like, looks more like a shoulder head. And there's the right shoulder that I was, like, waiting on the whole time, right? Want to see it break above resistance, retest. But if it's starting to make some type of nice flag here, and remember that 1 hour still does have the 1 hour. See, no, I haven't given up on that 1 hour. Is there going to be a live trade here? And I rebuilt my studio at 11. Oh, yeah. So I got to tell you guys the story. So who wants to hear the story? Or who doesn't care about the story? Let me know. But anyway, so I hired a moving company. They said they were going to be here Sunday 1 to 4. They never called at 12, 11. We started calling them. We noticed their office was closed. They close on Sundays. So nobody showed up. I waited all day. My wife eventually, exhausted from getting the move ready. And we just decided they weren't going to show up. So with that being said, 2 people just showed up out of nowhere at 8 in the morning. And then they had no idea that they had to break down any furniture or do anything. And it was kind of crazy. And so I made the decision just to say, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to work with a company that lied to me 2 times in a row. All right. I'm not going to say the company's name because I said I wouldn't. All right. So I won't, because they did give me a refund and a compensation. But it was horrible, man. It was a really bad experience. With my pregnant wife, she was very stressed over it. It was not fun. It was not cool. And so, yeah. And so what happened was I got an email from a crypto lifer. And this woman said, I'll give them their name if they're okay, but I don't like giving people's names out unless they want to, and I didn't ask them yet. So I'm just out of respect to privacy. I'd love to tell you who they are. But so I got an email from a woman. She said, me and my husband have been working, in our management and in this, maybe they even half own it or they've been part of it for a long time, a moving company, and we're willing to move you. And we just got to figure out the dates for you. And then the dates almost didn't work out. And then the guy's like, I've been watching him for a long time. I'm going to personally move him, take his stuff there in 3 days myself, get it done. And so we're getting white glove service, man, from a crypto lifer. And so because of this channel and because I said to everyone what happened to me yesterday, we ended up getting taken care of. And it's a crypto lifer that's doing it. And it's unbelievable. And so it just blew my mind and really put me at ease. And I can't explain how it felt. And it took so much stress away from my wife. She literally cried. So shout out to everybody else that, ASI merger should do the dollar cost strategy. 400 now. Is that how it works? I mean, I would never tell you how to put money into the market, man. You got to figure that all in yourself. All right. Yeah. Doge stuck in the range. Nice. Yeah. So literally, it's just so awesome that this stuff is happening, right? So did Gummy, you think Gummy may have sparked a bit of a pump, right? So I had SHIB in this beautiful little flag here to the upside. We had a stop loss here, take profit further up. So far, you are in the money with the SHIB call. Look at this, beautiful move for SHIB. You can see my stop, my entry, bang, bang, bang. It's not amazing, but it might be up. I don't know. Let's see from entry, 4%, 4.5%, nothing to write home about right now. But SHIB's starting to make a bit of a move. SHIB has a big market cap, but that's a strong pump for SHIB. Tight moving averages out of the flag, came down a little bit. You could kind of, you could change the position a little bit and bang. But this thing made gains. It did not hit the stop loss below the previous beginning of the pattern. That's how I always keep it. And yeah, if SHIB can continue, I mean, there's a 22% gain for SHIB up to 33. It takes a lot of money to get SHIB moving though. Awesome. Glad it worked out. Amen, man. It did, man. God bless you guys. Sam, never in my life have I struggled with my faith like this. Would you take a second to say a small prayer for me today? Man, God loves you, brother. And just live in love and gratitude. Find gratitude, bro. If you're ever struggling with faith, find gratitude. Gratitude should pull you back to faith because you realize what you have, man. There's got to be something that you can be grateful for today that can shrug you out of that feeling. So just, find a place to meditate, go into nature, and realize, man, you have one life to live. You're a being on this earth breathing in air, man, and don't let anything take that away. If you're feeling guilt or pain for something you did, then, tell someone ask for forgiveness. Sometimes you need to ask for forgiveness. I don't know what's going on, but I love you, man. I pray for you, and I hope everything's going okay, man. And, may God bless you, bro. Just find gratitude, bro. Every time I'm lost, I find gratitude. I stay in the present moment. Don't let the past eat you away, and don't worry about the future. All you can do is control this moment right now that you're in. That's it. Don't get too crazy, kind of anywhere else, but we don't hang out on those frequencies. Shout out to Justin Cashmore, man. Look at those below you and not above you. I don't know what that means, but yeah, who cares? I don't think anyone's below me, though. I don't like that. Have you ever looked at Gamium? Yeah, we've looked at Gamium a bunch of times on the channel, on and off. All right, I want to get back into the chat here and see what's happening. Also, the total market cap for Bitcoin. And let's see what's up in the fan funding. So, yesterday, I found a super chat, blah, blah, blah. BONK. Okay, we took a look at BONK. Well, BONK continue is the question, though, right? And I like Bitcoin sitting at that $67,200 level. Could be making a flag, sideways flag. But you can see, it didn't break that high, and now you're getting kind of like the shoulder, head and shoulder vibe, which would like to break down to the 200 SMA. And you got the descending triangle kind of vibe right there that, So to me, I would let that 15-minute reset on the bigger time frames for Bitcoin, right? Your 1 hour is, slightly double top technically in a way here off the candle bodies, but you got a bit of resistance here, support, which could be resistance, which could be support, but it's a bit messy. So what I was saying is are you going to consolidate into something like this? Bounce off the bottom of the channel? Or are you making a right shoulder for a dump down? Where you're going to be testing these key levels? And again, if Bitcoin loses the 8-hour 200 SMA, I'll be bearish again. And I'll talk about, oh no, we might go lower, right? If we stay above it, I stay bullish. I hope that makes sense to everybody. If it doesn't, it's just part of trading. You're bullish or bearish based on the information that the charts give you. All right? I'm able to figure out what's likely going to happen based off of projection theory, but you never know. This could be really wrong. I don't know. What's more likely right now in front of me in the present moment in time is this shoulder head and a right shoulder that could break us to the downside. All right. God bless all the people in here. You will find your true purpose in life. Thank you, Barber Trader Joe. God bless you, man. Cash, small time frames could bang if Bitcoin squeezes. Omni. Let's take a look at Omni. Omni keeps getting some buzz, right? And we went over, and I gave you guys, a bunch of coins that I was looking at, and that came to me through Tokenmetrics that I kind of scanned. It took a crazy bounce, though, if you look at it, right? This is also, a lot of newer coins. You remember, we don't have retail in the market yet. They're not rushing in. When Bitcoin's going to hit 80, 90K, people are going to start rushing back to the market. For some reason, they need to be drawn in. They need to be drawn out by fear, and they need to be drawn in by greed. So, they can't get in when the market's not amazing. See, we're drawn in. My wife said, if you're so sad, do something for somebody else. Usually it makes you feel better. All right? The past is forever gone. The future will never arrive. Live in the present. Amen. 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 That's some key advice right there too. Right out, right. Just when we break it down logically, you'll never get it. You'll never get that back. That past. And you can't be in the future. It doesn't exist really. It's something you can think about, but you can't be there. You can only be here, right now in the present moment in time. So, to me, that is the key to success: is staying in the present moment. Living with whatever you do, learning from your lessons, and moving on. Okay? Good morning, Sam. Shout out to Tommy Crown in the house. God bless you, Tommy. Thank you for being here. Sam, thank you. I got in 66 and out at 67, done for the day, all because of your course. I never ever would have traded the trade, bro. Shout out to Immaculate Mano. We love you. We appreciate you. And I'm happy that you were able to make some gains today and move on. Nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Amen. Sammy's the trading term may go away. True for this year. Usually not in a halving year. If you want to go to the halving ideas, not a good look. No. And we can look at that too. This summer, actually, we get a pretty nice pump for Bitcoin after the halving. Every halving we've had, but you never know. Only time could tell. Let's take a look at what I'm saying here. We go to the all-time history index for Bitcoin. And, I delete all my old work over here. And I slap on like a pi cycle chart here for a second. We hit the weekly. We hit Control or Alt L, I believe, to flip us logarithmically. Get that stock to flow. And you just kind of take a look at what happens throughout the months here, So we have a halving here in May of 2016. I believe it was like May 8th. If I don't know. I think I remember that as May 8th. And I'm out of, But so we have a halving here. All right. And you can see, into May, we had a huge pump for Bitcoin. We did kind of come down a little bit, but we continued to rally. But you could say, July and August are not the best months, but May had a really nice pump to the upside. And you go here to the last halving here, April and May. I mean, we also got that complete dump, which we started to recover earlier. Then we got the halving, and then things just really, here we got a little bit of a dump into June to July. But, over time, we eventually did pump. But you could say, yeah, sell in May and go away. And then I guess this was, I guess, sad to say here, somewhat true. But at the same time, had you sold at 10K, yeah, I guess you would have been able to come back into the market 10K in October. So it was an up and down squeeze literally throughout. But, you could have gotten 9,000 up to 12 or 8, made some good trades in that zone. That was a pretty nice pump there. But again, I guess there it wasn't amazing. I'm just being honest. As much as we'd like it to be. And then we can take a look here at our halving. It's funny, we just had a halving. It's so amazing, right? It's weird how this tells you the halving, all right, there we go. Yeah, so April 22nd. 21st. You get it, though. You know what I'm saying? So, it's likely for me that we pump at least a little into May. But again, we're also below the green line on the pi cycle. Whenever we're right below that, look, eventually you're getting a move up. Eventually, yeah, there we got rejected by it. It came back down to the red line. We're kind of in between. So it's interesting. We're in a pretty strong support zone, too. So look I never realized that, but look at the red pi cycle lines at 56, 58K. It's unlikely you'll lose this red line ever again. Not ever again, but until the next big rally comes down. Understanding this concept, right? And it's funny, I don't normally do this logarithmically, but when you do just look at it on a log scale, the weekly just in a bull flag wants to pump to the upside, right? Unless we get to this blue line every time and then we get above it. I was saying that, and if we continued on this trajectory, the blue line would be somewhere 256,000. So the pi cycle chart suggests that we've never not hit the blue line in a bull run. Never. We've hit it every single time we've rallied, right? Look, all the way back. You see, I'm spinning. I'm like, look at him. But here we hit it. Here we got above it eventually. In the first rally, we got above it here and moved on. Here we got above it and boomed. And here on our last one, we barely did, but we got above it both times. And so, again, this would be the first rally. At the same time, we didn't get this low before, right? We always stayed inside the green band. This is the first time we left the green band. So does that mean that the rally will stop at the blue line and not get into the red zone? We didn't hit the red zone this time. And so I'm not really going to be in green and red zones like before. I'm going to be more into when these actually cross. The creepy thing is they're getting a little closer than you'd want them to be. Like the last rally, they got really close though, and then they merged right there at the top of the cycle. But we're definitely somewhere here, right? And you can see after the halving, they do start to get close, but like we've had a bit of an accelerated cycle, in my humble opinion, too. But so when these lines merge and get close together, that is going to be the top, in my humble opinion. Trust me, like that's I said this before in the last rally. I said we're gonna sell when these cross. And when these cross, that was the top. Now we had the secondary top, which threw everyone for a loop. That's why this was money printing and this was a false top. And that's why it was a shoulder, head, and right shoulder. And it technically was, I don't know. It was messy. However, I took advantage of this because we found fibs. We were able to trade this. I was able to trade this through drawing a fib here and finding it was the golden pocket, and there was bullish divergence. So, like, if you break down traditional TA, it'll give you a pretty interesting concept of what's happening anyway. So we talked about the 1 hour coming back down and the 15-minute coming back down because it's too far away from the 21-day moving average, right? Just something to think about. 7-minute could be the lucky one, right? My 7-minute short squeeze. And that could do numbers here to the upside. Very interesting time. Remember that 1 hour is bullish. So here's the deal. If the 7-minute loses the 200, then you could say, okay, I'll get away. You don't want to lose the yellow line on the 7. There's a chance that this creates a nice. Could we get the cross here? We're getting another golden cross. That's interesting to me, right? The only thing I don't like is sometimes the 5 and the 7 aren't exactly the same. But I'll switch to the 5-minute here and show you what I'm saying, what I'm seeing on the perpetual. So this would be a possible trade here because you know that the 1 hour is still in your favor. Like I could just look at the 1 hour right now, and in the back of my mind, it's curving up on the Stokes. It's still got that. It's still got what I call gas. It's got love. It's got legs. It's got room to move. I could get in here with a stop right below the 200. If I get hit, I get hit. If I don't, there's a good chance I could stay above the 200. You see? Funny, so in my life, I moved to I grew up in Boston when I was a kid. I moved to the house I'm inside right now when I was 8 years old. I left when I was 18, 10 years later to go to New York City, where I lived for 19 years of my life. I moved back here for 4 years. And so this is my home. This is the closest thing I knew to like a childhood home, right? It's where I built all my memories. My mom and dad died this year, and so it's kind of like it's bittersweet to be here. These 4 more days before I eventually leave the Northeast, for what seems would be, at least 5 to 10 years, I believe I'll be down south. So I'm going from the Northeast to the South. It's interesting times to be alive, I'll tell you that. So I'll snatch a long here. I haven't opened up a long in a second. I'll snatch a long here. A little bit of hidden bullish. We stayed above the 200 SMA. That's a really strong sign that we can get a move to the upside. But you never know. I could easily get stopped out and lose the trade. Anything is possible. $536 at about 38x leverage, right? Makes it a $20,000 trade. We'll see what happens. Up 1%. We'll see up $6. We'll see where it goes. I like the flag. I like that we stayed above the 200, and I like that the 1 hour still is with us. The other time frames are a little, and it's a little sketchy. It could be a downtrend too. So it's high risk. I grew up in Brockton, moved to Quincy at 19, then moved to Maine, then to Wisconsin, then to San Antonio, Texas, and then upstate New York in the Catskills. And now I'm back to Maine. Wow, you've been around, man. Why Florida? Just curious. When I was a kid, when I was young, I remember being on the beach in the vineyard, and my summer ended, and I was with this group of kids, and they're like, we're from Florida. And I was like, oh, you're going to go back? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be beach weather when we get home. And I was like, man, my last day at the beach, it was going to start getting cold. And Florida's a great place to Lambo. Lovely. I love that. Right. Check out Jupiter Beach. Cool little lagoon, like swimming area with lifeguards. Thank you. Yeah, my dad's friend was at Jupiter, I believe. Yeah. Are you going to miss Boston? What part of Ireland? County Cork. Render, Caspa, Iowa. I think he's from Iowa. I don't know if there's a coin called Iowa. All right. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. All right. Let me take a look back at the fan funding and see what's happening. Yeah. So there's a live trade we made here. This flag on the 7-minute looks tasty to me. Oversold. I like the lack of momentum in the MACD. Falling volume with falling price suggests that we could get a move. And we held the 200 MA, which is the yellow line here. Again, it's a very high-risk trade. I could easily lose it. There's no guarantees. All right. But it is a Tuesday. I like the liquidity on Tuesday. It's one of my favorite days to trade. So, you know. Master friend, we got the midnight dump, bro. And you have to like and hit the logo now. Look, boom, 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 boom. Is the VWAP like a fair value gap? By the way, you two are awesome. Thank you. God bless you, Crawbillies. We love you. We appreciate you. Are you talking about me and my wife? I think so. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Is the VWAP? I don't use the VWAP. I use the VRVP. I think you just I think you hit the W accidentally or something. It's very similar to fair value gaps. Don't replace anything for anything, no. You know what I mean? Learn your stuff. Be detailed. But it can help a beginner begin to understand where liquidity is. You know, it's a great way to understand liquidity. I appreciate your work, brother. Could you take a look at render? Looks like I say, yeah, super on the 1 hour. But I'm new and learning every day. All right. He's like, okay. Let me take a look at render, man. And we just did some cool stuff with you here on Pi Cycle. I'm gonna know how to get out of this at the right time, and I'm gonna be able to sell at least somewhere close to the top. You know what I mean? Just like I'm able to get somewhere close to the bottom. It is what it is. It's not gonna be easy, and nothing's easy in life. But we're gonna be pulling it off. I think there was an ant crawling on my foot. It happens. Happens all the time. It's like a... It's weird. Anyway. Okay, so moving forward. Sorry about that. And honestly, like, see this little flag on the weekly? I mean, that's a bull flag, is it not? So Bitcoin's making a bull flag, in my humble opinion, on the weekly. I keep it simple, man. Keeping it simple has gotten me so far in trading, where most people just like, you know, and again, maybe we go lower for a little bit, but that's starting to look pretty sweet to me, you know, and we've got really nice support at this previous resistance points, 2 real places, you know, and again, we could slip up again and tap 61.8 one more time. It wouldn't be crazy. Really get, you know, and again, we could have a huge dump. Anything is possible. Like, I'm still open-minded that we could go all the way to 53,000. But so far, I mean, we fought off the bears pretty nicely. I have to tell you. All right. Let's take a look at render. I'm just excited. You know I love playing with these altcoins. Let's take a look at render USDT and see what's happening. All right. So to me, you know, you had a huge run up. This thing was out of control. 33 cents all the way up to $13. I mean, unbelievable. You're talking basically a 20x, 21x almost, right? 3 in every dollar. I mean, is that, yeah, I mean, that's, no, it's even more than that. It's like a 30x. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's outrageous. All right. 30 cents to $10 is 3 in every buck, and you're getting 10. I mean, it's like 30x. And so it's a little under a 30x. Now it's still holding massive gains. So people in render are just like, I'm not selling. You know what I mean? We got in so early, and that's what creates bull runs. It's the buys in the bear market that create the substantial bull run. People don't realize it because it's that buying pressure that comes in, creates the base, and then there's so much liquidity behind the coin that it creates FOMO for people to get in. They're like, well, it's already got this market cap. I missed out. And then it starts to pump people like, well, I must, you know, and then, so the people that buy in the bear market, kudos to all of us, because we build that base, right? We build that base of liquidity, and that kind of propels people further into the coins once, you know, markets start to rip up. So it's really the diligent, even though we start, you know, even though we need way more money to continue, we do start that flush of liquidity by believing in the bear market at the time. You know, it's pretty interesting when you think about that, how it all kind of comes into play. We take a look at the 2-day and the 3-day chart. I like what we're seeing. The daily would have to get flushed a little bit, but look at the 2-day. 2-day says a big move is coming, and you already kind of started breaking out. Now, maybe it breaks back inside and bounces, but it felt like your low was down there at 633. Like, you may never get render at $6 again, in my humble opinion. Like, not until the end of the next, maybe never again. Who knows? If I believed in this project and I really cared about it, I would be dollar cost averaging into it. I think this is an amazing project. I think it's going to do numbers. I just think there's a lower, like Aura Chain or some type of lower cap gem will make me a higher reward, you know? So like AGIX, like I'd rather put my money in Fetch or AGIX with just, they have just substantially smaller market caps at this point. You know, whenever I'm looking at a coin, I want to take a look at the market cap. And I'm not saying just because it has a big market cap, this thing could, I believe, can continue. $3.5 billion market cap really isn't that big for what Render can do. So I could see Render doing some numbers, actually. It's funny, I actually thought it was bigger when I thought about it. And 70% of the supply is out. That's a really good sign. Fully diluted, 4.9. That's how much if you times the price by all the coins that would eventually come out. That's your diluted. This is times the price by what is out. That's your market cap, right? So that's the difference between the diluted and the market cap. You want them to be as close as possible. If this is like 1 and that's at 10, you know there's 90% of the coins coming out, right? So 919 Render. Definitely a place I would dollar cost average in a Render. Like, you know what I mean? Even these dips were amazing. You already have 50% if you bought the dip. The 2-day looks beautiful to me. And there's a hidden bullish divergence. Unless Bitcoin takes a huge, you know, Bitcoin has to play. But so far, Bitcoin, we're going to watch it each day. And so far, as long as we hold that 8-hour 200, as long as certain things play out for Bitcoin, I could see Render continuing. Its target takes us to 1795, right? Remember, I put 100 grand in Solana at 109, and that's going to be the big boy. That's going to be the one for me. And now we're up like 49,000 on that move right now. And let's take a look at Solana. What I don't like is how ugly this pattern is. Like almost almost everything did it. The pump up. And this could just be a little fake rally to get people kind of back in to dump on them again, right? Just be careful. Like, and everyone's like, Sammy, why do you get us? I'm always open-minded. That's it. I got to be as open-minded for myself as I am for you. But I mean, the fact that we didn't get that, like, it got pretty hairy down in this wick. And we got hidden bullish divergences now, just like Bitcoin. So like every coin is like attempting to break out of these flags. Say, hey, you know, I'm breaking out of the wedge to the upside. So what we want to see is like bullish consolidation, like come up, come down, do something. We want to make sure that we don't just make a lower high and then dump to the downside. Like this level will have to hold 117, 120 if we test it one more time. If we lose 120, then we could come back down into chopper, even come all the way through this gap to 47. So we're not out the water yet, everyone, but the trends are continuing so far so good on the bigger time frames. Still kind of a little far apart here on the 3-day and the 2-day, and the daily is a little overbought. But what I like here is this is likely going to happen today. Almost, like, see this? You have this rising wedge. And you could even say it's more like a symmetrical that's going to go more sideways. But once this looks, it's going to you got a gap here, and you're coming for that 200. Boom. Once you break the 200 on Solana at 170, it's going to rip back up to 200 pretty quickly. And then we could start to maybe consolidate in here. Might make a shoulder. You see, like, we'll start to consolidate inside of this zone for Solana. Thoughts on RSC and DCI narrative? RSC. Research coin. On CoinEx. And you say, why wouldn't it be on Coinbase if it's already, he's behind it? Let's take a look at RSC Research Coin. Is that what you're saying? Or is it Rise Coin? Accelerate the pace of science. Our goal is to make a modern mobile and web application where people can collaborate on scientific research in a more efficient way, similar to what GitHub has done for software engineering. Community and governance, uploading. Okay. Funny most visited. We got Immutable X, MakerDAO, MetaFact, FOMO. Talked about FOMO yesterday, down 17%. Deepfake AI, back up 14%. Funny, remember when that came out? Kind of did a bit of a, Pendle back. Pendle's up 50%. We talked about Pendle. I'm going to show you my Pendle idea that I put out to the trading group. Pendle was one of the coins I put out yesterday that looked hot to me. I don't know if this is the coin you're talking about, but yeah, you wrote thoughts on research coin. You did. Funny, it's only on CoinEx. And what happened to this trade? Ooh, we're slumping. Now, if we lose that, there's really no reason to be in the trade if we lose the 200, in my humble opinion. That tells me no go. And I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Like, $63 beans. Never risk what you're not willing to lose, and don't overextend your portfolio, too. As long as we hold the 200, the trade can still play out, too. Let's see if 66.5 can hold for Bitcoin. And never stress. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It happens. Let's take a look here. And if you're moving, if you're moving something big in your life, probably don't want to trade too hard, man. It'll be hard to keep your mind on it. 100%. I'm just giving you guys, not advice, but life ideas. All right, life ideas. I mean, this coin slowly moved up. It looks like it's barely in liquidity, right? So, I don't know, man. You'd have to believe in this and think, I got into something new. How could it not do numbers? I like the idea and the premise behind it. It sounds great, right? But can it pull it off? How are they going to pull it off? Right now, it's just an idea. But the coin's up, what? It went all the way to 93, came back down. It looks hot to me, but it's tiny market cap, I'm sure. Right? 59 million at least. But still, very small volume, 10,000, very small volume. So I just got to it's a very, very small volume coin. Getting a bounce back to the upside there for Bitcoin off of that 200 MA so far. The flag could continue. It's all about this yellow line, I'm telling you. It's crazy, right? How he bounced right off of it. So ENA, let's think. ENA is really one of the hotter coins. To me, it's showing strength. Okay, finally did lose the buck though, which is people that really want to get in on this coin on the low. On Mexi, it just came out, so it doesn't have a lot, of history behind it. Kind of draw this, see, can it make some type of ascending triangle, make its way out, break back out of this to the upside, hold these key zones. It's getting oversold in the 4-hour time frame. I give it the 2-hour too. 2-hour looks like it could get a bounce. So, you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low. Can you get a bounce here? I'd watch ENA for a possible bounce. Just to see if it can consolidate. 1 hour too, look, but got rejected by the 200. So you want to see it. See, that could be bearish, right? For lower lows. May even come all the way back down for a double bottom. Coin's so early, it's hard to tell what it could do, right? You don't have a lot of support and resistance levels to watch. So you want this falling wedge to break back up on the 15 or the 1 hour. Otherwise, it likely coming down for a double bottom at possibly 83, right? We looked at BONK and HBAR already, though. But we'll look at them again, I guess. Because my man Zach R just hit us up and asked about BONK, and Pragmatic Man asked about HBAR. Thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate it. And thank you for Research Coin. Thank you for ENA from Crypto Awaken. Thank you for Gidge. Thank you for CROB Billies. Is the VR. Yep. Thank you, Chris Martin. We looked at Render for you, my brother. And this guy asking again, Frankie, about the Sugberry Network. All right. Shout out to Jedi M for real. We love you. Iowa, Tori, Rave Song Records, Cass, Small Time Frames, Omni on the 76. We did look at that already. And shout out to Hank Schulten. So we got all of it going in, which is pretty awesome. We got people just coming on in. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chats. We love it. And we thank you for the constant viewership and support every single day here on the channel. Crypto Lifers, baby, for life. So let's take a look at BONK here on MEXC. So BONK was just in a flag and broke out that flag too. You see? Pump to the upside. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Got another pump. Broke above its 200. So you want to see if this can close a candle above it. If it does, I mean, that 4-hour is going to rip. So very likely BONK can continue to the upside. The target for BONK is higher. Bang, right? We could look for a flag on a smaller time frame for execution. But honestly, when you get above a 200 in the 4-hour time frame, once this candle closes 17 minutes, I open up a trade with a stop loss below, and you'd be surprised. Last time, that was a massive move for BONK. And so, you know, pumped, retraced. And it could take more time. You never know. But definitely, I mean, if you believe in this project, that, you know, you're not chasing the highs, right? You're getting back into these undervalued areas. So that's what I do. BONK looks amazing to me on the 4-hour time frame. Like, it's going to continue to rip. It's been ripping ever since, you know. Okay. And you asked about HBAR, which we just looked at, I believe, at the beginning. Had a nice little pump earlier today, too, as well. And, you know, what I'm saying, same thing here for HBAR. Likely to pump up to the 200 on the 4-hour. Once it flips that 4, look for this thing to go busy and get even higher to the next resistance at 13.9. It's all about the 4-hour 200. If it can't get back above that, look for, you know, it'll try to bounce off a smaller time frame, support or resistance. Once it flips that yellow line, I'm telling you, it'll blast. Highly likely, like 80 to 90% of the time, you get a move. And there's Bitcoin losing the yellow line, no good. So I'll likely get stopped out of that. I'll either let it get stopped out or hang out in the trade. 70 for 300, not a big deal to me. We'll see what happens. The execution was the 1 minute in and out too, you know what I mean? Move on for the day. Bang. I traded last night, took a trade, moved on. So we'll see. It's too much pressure on that 15, which makes sense, you know? But I got sucked in. Sometimes that plays out, sometimes it doesn't. It's just one of those things. Like, either the 15-minute will flush you or the 7-minute might pump you. If the squeeze is hard enough and you have enough liquidity, you'll get the flush out. Too many people believing that, like, crypto's dead or something. There's a lot of, like, FUD in the market, which is good. This is what you need. These are, like, whenever there's a FUD, it's time to buy. So I can't buy when everyone's telling me it's the best thing ever. So you don't really have a choice, right? In my humble opinion. That's why I've been stocking up on Bitcoin and just loading up on coins that matter. Like Solana at 123 was a good buy, personally. But again, you got to come up with that decision yourself and understand if that's something that you're willing to do, you know? That's why everyone needs the education, because nobody's life is the same. And so we don't know what the information is going to do for you or how it could help you, you know? We looked at Solana already, man. Thank you. Do you think RUNE will do numbers? Good hold. Yeah, I mean, over time, RUNE has always done numbers. You know, it's a good coin. It's even done numbers when, like, you know, the market hasn't been amazing. But, you know, I don't know what could happen. You know, I can never, oh yeah, that's guaranteed. You know, nothing's guaranteed to go up or down, right? But I mean, it's been a choppy year if you think from November all the way to May here. It's been a pretty choppy time for RUNE. The highest it got to was 11 though, and it came out at 44 cents in August of last year. So in a year, by this August of 2024, I mean, it's up huge. So if you look at the trend, you know, technically you could say it's in a beautiful uptrend, right? You just want to see if it can maintain that trend. A lot of shenanigans up and down there, right? The weekly's getting oversold. It's a great place to start to accumulate a coin when the weekly's beat to the ground, right? So that's another thing to think about. But it's messy. I mean, price action is a mess. Guess you wait for it to consolidate inside of that, bigger channel. But I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I greatly appreciate it. 1,000 likes. Let's go, baby. And yesterday, took a lot out of me. It was insanity. But we're back on track. Everything's going. I built my studio again with my main computer. Took away the travel laptop. Put the mixer back on. It's weird how it won't let me hear myself from the same, even though I'm using just, Scarlett just didn't give me the feedback of my own voice for whatever reason. Like right now I know that I can hear myself in the speaker and it's spot on. Something weird was going on there. I don't know what it was. Not used to that. So could have been the way the mic was working. I don't know. Usually I do use the pod mic with the cloud lifter, and we tend to be okay. But or maybe I just realized I couldn't hear myself the last time too. But it's okay. I like to hear the music too. Can you say something about holochain? I mean, I got into that coin a long, long time ago. And it actually did like a 30x in the last rally. It really did. It turned like $100 into $2,700. I remember it was pretty crazy. Hot coin, I think it's called, which is holochain. Yeah. They call it holo token. But I believe this is it, right? Funny, it since the lows, it's up nicely. It's like everything else. They're like consolidating in these wacky flags. They're like chunky. They're hard to they're not like perfectly designed. Previous support is resistance, and you're very oversold again. And you're bouncing off like the 786 Fibonacci level. So, I believe ORDI is going to do numbers over time. But BRC20 to me is also like very sketchy. It's so new and early. And look at ORDI. It took a beat down. Like what the? You know what I'm saying? When Bitcoin took a beat down, ORDI just decided, okay. So like I hold this coin, so like long-term hold, I guess, for ORDI, see what happens to it, right? But wow, what a beating for ORDI. Highest it ever went to was 90. We started putting out ORDI on KuCoin when it was $5, $4. I remember it just before when BRC20 first came out, that was the time, and ORDI kind of came and went. Now ORDI's like maybe it could do some numbers. It might 10x from here over time, but I don't know, man. BRC20 now with what happened with runes and some people in the community, I'm not putting down BRC20. I think people have made a lot of money with it, but it's its own beast, and it takes over a lot of your mind. And so I have some exposure to BRC20, and I leave it at that. You know what I mean? And I leave it at that. Can we go over big time? Big time. I stayed away from big time because I never got in early, and I felt like chasing. Had that beautiful buy zone, look at that double bottom. Lost the double bottom and came down all the way to the beginning stages. So this thing got sold to the ground for whatever reason. Did it get an airdrop? You know what I mean? That's what I tried to think. Did it have it? Were they giving coins out? You could say it's in this bigger channel. It wants to come back to the top of the channel. But like my wild coin's still up really nice. Like substantial projects shouldn't give out this much of a sell-off. Like that's crazy that nobody wanted to hold it long-term at all. So for me now, it has to break back above 29 to be bullish. So you want to see this, can you break back above 29? I don't own any of this coin. I don't think I will. But, man, it looked like it could have made a nice little double bottom there for a low, right? A lot of people do like this coin, though, and think it's going to do numbers over time. So it depends if it's in your, But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it right now. And especially now, if it gets back above here, I'll swing trade it. If it can break above 46, show signs of life, and start to get back above key areas, well, I definitely would swing trade it. Take a look at Velodrome. So Velo had that run up and then had that funky little run up again. And honestly, the altcoins haven't been showing me a lot of strength. So I'm not, I'm only DCAing into coins that I like and still watching them closely. And my bread and butter is altcoins. So right now, it's just, I'm not going to force my trading group into trading a chop market that, you know, there's coins definitely on the low that are bouncing. Like we've had BONK, some of the memes are doing numbers, but it's not amazing, you know. There's definitely some sketchiness in the air, so there's some hesitation in the market. I can read it. So you don't want to lose this low, but could you come lower? You pull the Fibonacci on this. Now, I believe this project is substantial, could do numbers, so if it ever came back down to that 786, it would be amazing. So like you're looking for this area. For me, I would be looking to dollar cost average, right? Can you check out CROB Mob and your thoughts? I don't know anything about it. What is it, CROB? I think we went over it one time. Shout out to the Ski crew, man. Ski bouncing off that 786. CROB Mob. Yeah, I don't know. Is it CROB coin? Is it a meme? It's funny. It's like crow, but it's a crab on crow. I think it's kind of lame. You know what I mean? Like that's just I shouldn't. Someone say, "Hey, I made it up," right in the bag. But it's just more memes on crow, right? It's got a $40 million market cap since it came out. I think we did look at it when it was 2, so it went from 2 to 5. I don't know, man. It's a tiny meme. You just got. Do you believe in the tiny meme of on crow or you don't? Like it's up to you, right? That's how I look at it. Like it all depends. 7.4 would be the target if it does rip. But I wouldn't buy it. You know what I mean? I'd rather buy some more BTC and build a long-term bag. But you never know. Maybe this thing does numbers. Bitcoin getting the bounce back to the upside here. Right? Just dipped a little bit but came back up. On the 7-minute. Showing signs of life on that 200 MA. But may just kind of channel further lower. Only time will tell for Bitcoin. Wow, what a day it is to be alive, everybody. And I'll be honest, yesterday just took the wind out of me. It really was an insane day. I'm still thinking back on it, like, how did it... I basically fired and hired a moving company in an hour and a half. Went from people in my house to out of my house to having a new company come and everything kind of back to normal. Got to build my studio back again. Got my life back together because they would have taken basically all my monitors and I would have had basically, but man, it all worked. It all worked. Bitcoin Halvely afterly starts after Amazon town hall meeting. Bitcoin do it. You're funny. Sam, at this pace, you're going to need a separate meme stream. I know, right? Just memes. That's what I say. I like just only talk about memes all day long. Shout out to the $84 and $77 in chat revenue. 800 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. 1,000 likes, baby. Let's get it going. And everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out where my wife is going to pull me off of the channel. Me too. I love you all. I appreciate you. And I'll be back. Maybe tonight. You never know. Yeah, definitely coming back tonight. Yeah. You stopped the music? The music just stopped. There it goes. I know. So crazy. Well, I go milk a camel in Dubai. But have a wonderful time. I love you. And I'll see you in the trading group. Stay blessed, everyone. I love you. Stay grateful. Stay in the present moment. Do not get too stressed. Everything's going to be fine. Over and out. I got a Bitcoin tie on. It's okay.